Hello, Internet. Welcome back to another edition of Eric's Corner with the word of the not so wise. Today, I'm going to talk about something that's really trendy and booming in the news: the tunnels found under the synagogue in New York City. Well, I did not investigate this. I have not been there. I don't have any more information than you do. I'm just going off of what I have seen so far. This is my initial thoughts on the matter. Well, access and maintenance tunnels are a very real thing in every major city. It's how do you think we get your sewer, water, and electricity to all these buildings? Um, I mean, it's not unusual for uh, churches in other parts of the world to have tunnels underneath them. I mean, doesn't the Vatican have a bunch of them? I don't think it has any correlation because, again, this is in the middle of a city like New York, a little bit different deal. But there's a baby stroller down there. There's a high chair to feed a kid. There's a mattress. Well, I mean, homeless people are going to find their way into these places for shelter in the bitter winters that New York has. So I don't really see that as much cause for alarm, and I'm not seeing any tools. There were only a couple of pictures I saw where it looked like a concrete brick wall had been demolished and accessed behind it. And I mean, you can't just build something like that without, debris being moved out and concrete trucks bringing concrete back in. It would be just insanely obvious. So I'm not really understanding what the panic is. And oh no, it goes under a kid's school or whatever. I mean, been there a lot of years, and I see these guys coming out of these holes and they're still wearing their religious garments and they're not dirty. I mean, you generally wear coveralls or would have, a headlamp. I've spoken about the Russian folk here in around my hometown, and they have some religious garments that they often wear. They really nice high collar silk like looking shirts, and really fancy, look really nice. But when they're building boats and fishing, they have coveralls on. They have rain gear on. They're not just out there in these shirts commercial fishing the high seas in Bristol Bay. So I'm not quite sure if this is really any cause for alarm. And supposedly the mayor of New York sent the whole police force down in the sewers to canvass them and look for things. I mean, where do we see this? Television. Bad television. This type of supervillain shit doesn't happen in real life. I mean, this is Batman and the Dark Knight. I'm not really sure what they're looking for. I mean, it's just a PR stunt and saying, "Hey, we found something fishy. Everybody needs to go look for it." Okay, cool, that's fine, but I'm not really seeing what real up to no good they could be doing in these places. And I mean, we found no people in prison down there, so. Again, my initial reaction, take it with a grain of salt. It's January 13th. So, I mean, I'm going off of week-old information. And if I get more information later, I'd be happy to update and change my opinion to, holy smokes, lots of people need to go to prison. Like, Jeffrey Epstein's whole scandal. So, anyway, thank you for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and Happy New Year, all that good stuff. Have a good night.